The teachings of the Jedi Order had kept the curiosity of hundreds of Jedi hungry for knowledge at bay. The main objective of the Order is to teach knowledge in its due and correct time, when the maturity of the Jedi is in accordance with what the knowledge demands. However, the desire and ambition of some Jedi overcomes them. On the planet Dantooine, Jedi Exar Kun is listening to the holocron of his teacher, Jedi Master Budu Sios. What is special about this device is the story that Exar Kun hears about the Great Hyperspace War. The Jedi is amazed by the story told in the holocron and intrigued by the final fate of the Sith who almost ended the Republic and the cause of the Great Hyperspace War, Nagasatau. Exar Kun learns everything he can from the holocron, being interested in a part of the story which talks about the Dark Jedi who had contact with the Sith. Master Budu explains in his holocron the great power this fallen Jedi had in accepting the dark side. Also, Exar Kun is amazed by the story about Freedom Nat, an ambitious Jedi who left the Order in search of power and founded his own kingdom on the planet Onderon. Before he can consume all the holocron's knowledge, Jedi Master Budu Sios interrupts Exar Kun by questioning him about his peculiar interest in the exploits of various dark side users. Master Budu speaks with his most prodigious student, indicating that some knowledge must be learned at a specific time, giving the body and mind time to mature so that in the future the Jedi may be able to obtain that knowledge. With disgust, Exar Kun accepts the instructions of his master. However, he feels undervalued since he feels prepared enough to be able to acquire knowledge of any kind, even those that talk about the Sith. Alima Keto and Cyril Keto, since their return from Onderon and after the Freedom Nap uprising and after being chosen as heirs of the dark side by Freedom Nath, have been carrying out activities that benefit his dark side cult, the Krath. Alim and Cyril have been expanding their cult and have become stronger, both economically and politically. The Krath doesn't have a large army or powerful weapons to subdue their enemies. What they have are their powers linked to the dark side and Sith magic. Empress Theta is a system that is characterized by this great capacity to produce carbonite, and the economic and commercial benefits that the system provides are enormous. Therefore, the commercial links between the Carbonite Guild and the government are not unrelated. In a Carbonite outpost, both factions unite to consolidate their relationship. However, everything is ruined by the Krath. The Krath use dark side illusions to overpower the mining guild officials and guards of the Empress Theta's government, causing them to go into catatonic shock. With even the ruler of Empress Theta being present, Cyril and Alima, with their Sith magic, annihilate all the powerful people of that meeting, proclaiming a new era of rulers on the planets of the Theta system. A year has passed since the uprising of the Nadists in Onderon, and the victory of the Jedi Knights has allowed oppression by the dark side to disappear on the planet. The brave Jedi who fought against King Omin, among them Ulic Qel-Droma and Nomi Sunrider, were still on Onderon, awaiting the next move of the dark side and maintaining peace on the planet. However, the call of duty would be from a distant place, west of Onderon. Master Arcajel reports what happened in the Empress Theta system, the uprising of Krath, led by Cyril and Alima Keto. The latter having great importance since the Jedi were able to relate Cyril and Alima with the Freedom Nat uprising, since they had been present during the battle on Onderon and had been seen with Sith sorcerers. The Republic and the Jedi will send reinforcements to end the threat. On the one hand, a group of Jedi, including Tatanita and Oswillum, would be sent to Ossus with a shipment of Sith artifacts so that they could explain what was seen and happened on Onderon and the dark side. And on the other hand, Master Arca would send Ulic Qel-Droma and Nomi Sunrider to the Empress Theta system. As Ulic was preparing a collection of Sith relics to be transported to the Jedi archives on the planet Ossus, he came face to face with the manifestation of Freedom Nath. From a strange object, this spectral entity conveyed a message foretelling the eventual resurgence of the Sith. Nath proclaimed that Ulic was fated to become one of the greatest figures in this revived Sith regime, although he hinted at the existence of another individual destined for even greater eminence than Ulic himself. After Exar Kun's talk with his master, the Jedi's pride would be demonstrated hours later with his companions, a male and female of the Cathar species, Kraden Silver, during their practice with lightsaber. Exar's skills are the best, being evident to everyone that he is Master Budu's best student. However, after defeating his two companions, Exar begins to boast, causing the displeasure of the two individuals of the Cathar species. Kraden Silver had attacked Exar Kun with a force foreign to a normal practice, since Exar's constant insults had overwhelmed the two. But Exar was simply better, and they couldn't beat him. Filled with rage over a wound that Silver inflicted on Exar, the Jedi raises his lightsaber for a final blow against his companion. However, Master Budu stops him. Exar Kun's arrogance is evident as he feels slighted by everyone, even his master. Exar Kun challenges his master to a duel, but Master Budu bests him with his wooden staff. Budu attempts to assert his authority, but Kun maintains his position with the duel, causing the destruction of Budu's staff. As Silver helps Budu to his feet, Budu tells Exar that he is the most formidable student he has ever taught. However, he feels that something is missing in him and notices that he is failing to listen to the call of the light side. The beginning of the end of Exar Kun would take him to Onderon, the same planet that Master Budu referenced in his Holocron. Encountering Kay and Todd, Exar poses as a Jedi archaeologist in search of Freedom Nath Sith artifacts found on Onderon. However, his plan to acquire these items would be rejected by Master Jeth, discovering his plan. After this, Exar Kun proudly and angry said goodbye to his Jedi colleagues, heading to the walled city of Onderon. The threat of Krath is a serious issue for the Republic and the Jedi. Alima and Seyral have conquered almost all the planets of the Emperor's data system, only Chorus Major being the exception. The Krath cult's strategy to take power was clear: the use of Sith magic that altered the perceptions of their enemies, ruthlessly conquering each planet. Aboard a Republic command ship, Ulic Qel-Droma and Nomi Sunrider arrived to ruin Seyral and Alima's plans. Reinforcements to Chorus Major's resistance arrive. However, Alima Keto has a plan. Alima uses Sith magic to conjure up legendary space creatures known as the Space Gracers. Terror invades the entire Republic crew. However, Nomi Sunrider stands as savior, since in her days on Onderon, she has been training her Jedi battle meditation with Master Arca. Mastering her ability, Nomi can perceive that the creatures are only illusions and through the Force guides the Republic and the Jedi fleet. The strategy of inducing fear didn't work on the Jedi, so Alima and Seyral, seeing that the Krath command shuttle is being attacked, they send a mix of fleets of starfighters between real ships and ships that are just an illusion. Alima and Seyral's new plan is successful, as confusion hits the Republic in the form of attacks by the real Krath starfighters, causing many casualties in the ranks of the Republic and even wounding Ulic Qel-Droma. After his failed meeting with Master Jeth, Exar Kun enters the street of the city. The speech of two followers of Freedom Nath in the central square of the city steals Exar Kun's attention. However, hatred against anything related to Freedom Nath or the dark side is evident in the inhabitants of Onderon, causing them to attempt to harm the two Nathists. At that moment, Exar Kun arrives to save both people. He orders them to accompany him to his ship. After an interrogation, Exar Kun agrees with the two dark side followers to go to Dexon, where the remains of Frida Nat are found. In front of Exar, in the middle of the rain, there is a great tomb where the remains of great users of the dark side are kept. After defeating some beasts, Exar Kun faces a second challenge. The tomb is constructed of Mandalorian iron. After a first attack with his lightsaber, the result is null. In a second attempt, Exar Kun focuses his energy and a power around him fills him completely, destroying the wall made of Mandalorian iron. Inside, the Jedi can observe the sarcophagi of Frida Nat, King Omin, and Queen Amanoa. Upon entering the tomb, the spirit of Frida Nat appears in front of Exar. Nat exchanges words with the Jedi, calling him naive for believing he can control the dark side. However, Frida Nat's guidance leads Exar Kun to find the treasure he was seeking. Found beneath Frida's own skeleton, scrolls written by the own hand of Frida Nat's master, Naga Sadow. Back on his ship, Exar Kun investigates the Sith scrolls using a translator. Inside the scrolls, Exar can finally finish the story of the group of Dark Jedi who dominated the Sith, indicating the planet where these Jedi first had contact with them, the homeworld of the red-skinned species, Korriban. Using this knowledge, Exar Kun sets a course in the direction of the planet. After Krath's victory in the Battle of Corus Major, the threat of a Lehman Saddle to the Republic and the Jedi was something real. They couldn't take things lightly, so the Order, as has happened in difficult times like these, once again, thousands of Jedi head to the planet Deneva to hold the conclave of Deneva and discuss the situation. Despite all attempts by both the team commanded by Ulic and the Senate in the Republic, brutal atrocities against the inhabitants of the Emperor's Theta system continue to occur at the hands of the Krath cult. In the Mount Meru, thousands of Jedi arrive from various places in the galaxy, being received by droids, where some Jedi indicate that they have strange behavior. Leading the meeting is Master Odan-Ur, the same Jedi who more than 1,000 years ago defended the Emperor's Theta system in the unification wars of Corus. Ulic Qel-Droma, addressing his Jedi colleagues, expresses his concern about engaging in an all-out war with the Krath, questioning whether the price to pay would be justified. Suddenly, Master Shayoto steps forward and demands immediate action against the Krath, justifying his response with historical events of the Jedi. Master Shayoto, having witnessed the Bultar Cataclysm in the Third Great Schism, and remembering the atrocities and mistakes of the past in the 100-Year Darkness in the Great Hyperspace War. For Shayoto and many Jedi, it was unacceptable to repeat the calamities of the past. They had to take immediate action. Aligning with Shayoto's position, Ulic proposed a plan to avoid spilling Jedi blood. His idea would be to infiltrate the Krath, joining their ranks to cause their fall from within. This suggestion sparked debate among all the Jedi. Many opposed Ulic's plan, and his master, Arkajeth, sternly warned that embracing the dark path would inevitably lead to ruin. At the same time as the conclave was held in Deneva, in the north of the galaxy, Exar Kun had arrived on Korriban. The ancient Sith world of Korriban waited in the infinite void of space. The Republic, after the Great Hyperspace War, as revenge, had wiped out everything on the planet, and the remains of this total purge of the Sith was what Exar Kun was able to witness. Despite not being at the height of Korriban, the Sith marveled Exar. Enormous statues, both complete and destroyed, of ancient Sith adorned the path. Exar was in the presence of the Valley of the Dark Lords, formerly known as the Valley of the Sleeping Kings. The sun burned like an open wound in the sky. Without a clue where to start, Exar entered the valley in front of him. After passing different obstacles, a voice communicates with Exar, indicating the correct path. it was Freedom Nath. The Jedi entered an ancient temple which emanated a great amount of darkness and anger. Behind Exar Kun, the entrance through which he had arrived collapsed, sealing off a potential exit. With strange intentions, Freedom Nath incites Exar to enter the temple. With each step that Exar Kun took, Freedom Nath's spectral presence made him advance not only literally inside the temple, but onto a path of no return. As planned, Freedom causes a collapse inside the temple, causing mortal injuries to Exar Kun, smashing his bones. Unable to move a single part of his body, Exar asks Freedom for help, saying that he is not ready to die. However, the only answer he gets is that if he truly wants to live, Exar Kun must accept the dark side. Dying, Exar refuses that, and from his last breaths, he emanates the name of his master. Exar Kun's anguish resonated through the Force to where his master was. Voodoo, accompanied by Crate and Silver, were approaching the Neva when they sensed the disturbance. Voodoo attempted to approach Kun through the Force, but instead, he encountered the spirit of Freedom Nath, whose darkness was hostile. Freedom Nath saw Exar's agony, mocking him and his inability to save himself. Isolated and helpless, Kun agrees to surrender to the dark side, and through its corrupting power, he was helped. The agonized cries of Exar Kun's rebirth echoed throughout the galaxy, reaching the ears of every Jedi on the Neva and his master. This being the first call of a storm that will hit the galaxy. After this strange sensation from everyone, the Krath cult attacks the Jedi. In the space, Krath ships release life pods to the planet's surface, unleashing an army of war droids. Also, the same droids within the meeting, who had behaved strangely at the beginning, began to attack the Jedi. Chaos engulfs the Conclave, but thousands of Jedi confront the threat. Among the destruction, Ulic is unexpectedly attacked by a droid. However, Master Arc-Jeth manages to save his life. Ulic approaches his master and face-to-face thanks him for saving his life. However, this would be the last thing Arca would hear, as he would be deprived of his life by a droid behind his back. Devastated, Ulic kneels to say goodbye to his master. After being converted to the dark side, Exar Kun listens carefully to the different stories that Freedom Nath tells him about the Sith and the wonders that Naga Sadow was capable of, in addition to the secrets that awaited on Yavin 4. Freedom Nath informs Exar his first task as an apprentice of the dark side, to go to Yavin 4 in search of the great secrets and knowledge that Naga Sadow had left her. After the Battle of the Neva and the victory of the Jedi against the machines, Ulic is consumed by the pain of the death of his master. Despite the doubts of all his companions, he remains determined in his mission to infiltrate the Krath and cause their fall from within, since the Jedi analyzed that the war droids had been manufactured in the Empress Theta system, a work by Krath. Although Nomi warns Ulic not to underestimate the corrupting influence of the dark side, Ulic vows to conquer and subjugate the evil power to his will. After Ulic's decision, on the planet Ossus, Master Ud Benar, the same guardian of the Holocron that Nomi had learned during her stay with Master Thon in Embria, and Master Odan Ur, teach Ulic Qel-Droma some historical lessons. And Master Odan Ur teach Ulic Qel-Droma some historical lessons about the ongoing conflict between the dark side and the light side. Nomi tries to dissuade Ulic from his course, but the pleas of the two Jedi Masters and Nomi's were of no use as they fell on deaf ears. As Ulic prepared for his task, his brother Kay tries to join the mission with him. However, Ulic rejects him. With concern and fear, Kay tells his brother that he has the feeling that they will not meet again. After this, the Qel-Droma brothers merge in a hug. After arriving in Sinagar, Ulic enters the city. However, the secrecy of his presence fades when Sethel and Alima detect him. The next day, Krath carries out a public execution against enemies of the cult. However, the presence of Alima and Sethel in Sinagar is not well received by various inhabitants, causing an attack against Krath. In a move calculated to gain the trust of Alima and Sethel so he can unravel the secrets of the dark side, Ulic intervenes and saves the Krath leaders. Having gained the trust of the Krath cult, Alima gave Ulic a warm welcome, achieving his goal, although Sethel harbored a jealous resentment towards Ulic. On the other hand, following the order of Freedom Nat, Exar Kun arrives on Yavin 4 to a hostile environment. The experiments with the Sith magic on creatures that Naga Sadow had carried out years ago were still on the moon of Yavin, where they received Exar Kun in a violent manner. With the consequences of his serious accident on Korriban, Exar Kun is unable to confront the Sith creatures, causing his capture. Unexpectedly, the High Priest Masasi, the leader of the creatures, proclaims Exar as the chosen one they had long awaited and escorts him to the sacred fire temple. In the imposing interior of the great temple of Yavin 4, Exar Kun is in the middle of a sacrificial ritual, he being the main element. Far from allowing himself to be dominated by fear, Exar believes he has finally found the knowledge he had sought so long. As the ritual progressed, an astonishing source of power was unleashed, awakening a colossal beast born from the dark side alchemy of Naga Sadow, a Sith worm. Facing certain death at the hands of Sadow's formidable creation, Exar Kun once again embraced the seductive power of the dark side and took control of an ancient Sith amulet. Channeling the powerful energies of the dark side through this amulet, Kun incinerated the beast with his formidable force powers. At this, impressed by his master of the force, the Masasi swore allegiance to him as their new leader. All that had been seen by Freedom Nat, and pleased with Exar Kun's descent to the dark side, Nat began to plan to resurrect himself using Naga Sadow's laboratory. However, Exar had grown tired of Freedom Nat and harnessed the power of the amulet to forever vanquish Freedom's spirit and end existence of what was once a prodigious Jedi. In his final moments, Freedom Nat warned Sethel and Alima to be careful of Exar Kun and defend the legacy of the Sith. Back in Sinagar, Sethel's resentment and lack of trust is reflected in having Ulic Qel-Droma imprisoned. Although Alima advocates on behalf of the Jedi, Sethel is certain that Ulic is a spy. Unconvinced by Ulic's new intentions of accepting the dark side, Sethel injects him with a powerful seed poison, unleashing pain on the Jedi and allowing him to free himself from the torture droids. After this, Ulic gains the benefit of the doubt and is accepted into the Krath cult. However, Ulic's loyalty would be in doubt when, without warning, Nami's Sunrider would be captured in the city of Sinagar, since to make contact with Ulic, she intentionally allowed herself to be captured by the Krath, showing her lightsaber in public. After being captured and seeking to test Ulic's loyalty, Sethel orders Qel-Droma to a specific task. Before them, Nami's Sunrider is brought by Krath guards, thus complicating Ulic's task. In a smart move, both to further convince his loyalty to Krath and to save Nami, Ulic proposed that she be sent to the dungeons for interrogation, but Sethel demanded the immediate execution. Aware that Sethel and Alima could read his thoughts through the Force, Ulic managed to demonstrate his loyalty to the Krath by announcing that he would carry out the execution at dawn the next day. After seeing his mission compromised and Nami's life in danger, Ulic programs a droid to deliver a message to Nami, telling her to return to Ossus and inform the Jedi Masters of his progress on his mission. However, Sethel intercepts Ulic's droid and discovers the message. Enraged, Sethel destroys the droid and orders Nami's immediate execution. A vow to be taken for her execution, Nami's vital meditation caused the Krath guards to attack each other, allowing her to contact Kay and Todd for her evacuation. Meanwhile, in Sadel's attempt to end the life of the traitor Ulic, he sends a mercenary to end Qel-Droma's life, but the Krath leader fails, generating Qel-Droma's disdain. Outside the Krath fortress, Kay, Todd, and Nami meet with the intention of rescuing Ulic since, according to them, his mission and his life are in serious danger. Before being able to enter the fortress, they are received by Sadel, and prior to a confrontation against the three Jedi, Ulic Qel-Droma surprises Sadel, seeking revenge for his attack, Krath's attack on Deneva, and for the death of his master, facing Sadel in a lightsaber duel. Succumbing to rage and the allure of the dark side, Ulic defeats Sadel, who revealed in his final moments that rage had ignited the Sith poison he had injected into Ulic's body. Kay and Todd implored Ulic to join them, but he refused, and it was too late. Nami, Kay, and Todd managed to escape with great sadness at Ulic's betrayal and his descent into madness. Nami, in particular, was devastated by the perception that Ulic had lost to the dark side. However, Ulic struggles with the prophecy previously told by Freedom Nat, which mentioned that Ulic would go down a path from which there is no return. Ulic and another individual would be the chosen to continue the legacy of the dark side. The second individual was indeed already building his future, fueled by the dark side. On Yavin 4, Exar Kun, as the new leader of the Massassi Sith on the planet, has been ordering the construction of various temples that will serve as focal points for the dark side. Fortunately for Exar's ambition for knowledge, in the depths of the Great Temple, the same place where he fought the Sith worm, he discovers that the creature was protecting something valuable hidden. Discovering the ancient spaceship of Nega-Sadow in a hidden Sith alchemy laboratory, a testament to the legacy of the powerful Sith Lord. Aware that the defeated Freedom Nat had powerful allies on the dark side, such as Sadel and Alima, Exar decides to go to eliminate these potential rivals, so that nothing and no one would prevent his rise to power. On the planet Ossus, Qel-Droma and Nami Sunrider meet with the Jedi Masters, the leaders of the Jedi Order, after their return from Sinagar and their failed mission regarding Ulic Qel-Droma. Among the Jedi are Nami Sunrider's master, Master Thun, and Exar Kun's master, Master Budusios Kbas. Between all the Jedi, a debate arises about Ulic's fate. Some Jedi Masters are of the opinion not to help Qel-Droma return to the light side, since he should be responsible for his actions, while others are of the opposite opinion. However, in the end a solution is reached. Nami Sunrider and Qel-Droma will undertake a rescue mission for Ulic. In Sinagar, Alim and Ulic Qel-Droma, now allies, chat about Krath, and it's here that Alima shows one of the greatest treasures that Krath has, a very particular Sith amulet. Upon taking it, Ulic feels something strange about the talisman, as if the object was calling something. And the reason for this is that Exar Kun was in the city of Sinagar, undertaking his mission to finish off Alima and Sadel, the last allies of Freedom Nat. And answering the call of Ulic's talisman, the amulet of Exar Kun does the same. Estranged by such an event, Exar Kun knows that his future is threatened by Krath, so he must eliminate them. Suddenly, the sky over Sinagar is covered with Jedi starfighters, a large part of the brave Jedi who fought in the rebellion of the Natists in Onderon and in the Battle of Deneva had arrived in Sinagar, led by Nami Sunrider and Qel-Droma. With the help of these riders, Nami and Kay land in the royal quarters to rescue Ulic. However, unfortunately for Ulic's friends, Qel-Droma refuses to leave. Still, Kay and Nami try to reason, asking him to recognize the path he had taken. However, his pleas were of no avail, as Ulic remained steadfast in his conviction that the Jedi lacked the strength to defeat the dark side. Denying that he was under the influence of the dark side, Ulic issued an ultimatum to his friends and brother, demanding his departure. Ulic maintains his stance. He must become as powerful as he can, since he cannot afford to lose a loved one, like what happened with Master Arca, since at that time he was very weak. Even Nome's battle meditation proved ineffective against Ulic's determined resistance. Without any option, and seeing that Ulic was no longer the same, all the Jedi companions withdraw from Sinagar. After the departure of the Jedi, Ulic confesses to Alima that initially his intention was to destroy Krath as an act of revenge for the death of the Master Archangel. Alima, however, acknowledged that she had discovered his plan and expressed her gratitude for Ulic's ultimate decision to join with her instead of Nami. While Ulic regretted the pain inflicted on Kay and his former colleagues, his determination to continue down the dark path remained unwavering. The moment between Ulic and Alima is interrupted by Exar Kun's entrance to the place. Without needing to analyze the situation, Ulic and Alima notice the great threat that Exar Kun is. Exar easily knocked Alima out of the fight. Later, wielding their lightsabers, Ulic and Exar dueled. As the confrontation developed, both Dark Jedi recognized the threat posed by their adversary's existence. However, the main reason Exar and Ulic reunited appears. The two Sith amulets they both had unleashed a wave of Sith magic, summoning the spirit of a powerful Sith, and not just any Sith, one of the most important Dark Lord of the Sith in history, Marka Ragnas. Ragnas orders the fight to stop, and he declares that the two amulets have united and decided the chosen ones. Perplexed by what their eyes see, Exar and Ulic only listen to the Dark Lord of the Sith. Marka Ragnas, aware that they are the ones, decides to complete the initiation to the power of the dark side of both of them. Ragnas places his hand on Exar Kun's forehead and names him as the new Dark Lord of the Sith. Then, addressing Ulic Qel-Droma, Ragnas places his hand on his forehead and appoints him as Exar Kun's apprentice. Ragnas orders them on a mission to carry out the revenge of the Sith against the Republic and the Jedi. As the generational replacement of a new golden age of the Sith, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Exar Kun, and his apprentice, Ulic Qel-Droma, join forces, sealing a new alliance that will bring down the galaxy.